Hello everyone. So let us move on to the national artist for literature. I've already discussed the benefits and the qualifications on how to become a national artist of the Philippines. So at the end of this module or this topic, you can identify the awardees for National Artist for Literature, explain the contributions of each artist in the field of literary arts. Philippines has an immense literary tradition that reflects the country's history. Philippine literature is a rich group of literary works that has developed along with the country's history. Long before the arrival of the Western influences, early Filipinos already have stories to tell to younger generations. The Philippines has a rich collection of fables, legends, myths from different regions of the Philippines. The Babaylan, they are the early healers, used the chants to please the supernatural beings or spirits to bestow good health and fortune in the home and the fields. So when the Spaniards came in the 16th century, they introduced Christianity to the islands and used literature to colonize the country. Then during the time of the Americans, English was introduced and Filipinos have grown adept in the usage of the language. Today, contemporary writers are expanding the horizon of reality and imagination in their works to reflect the Filipino spirit. Philippine literature is diverse, although some of the most famous literary works focus on the country's post-colonial heritage, politics, and modern traditions. Filipinos must recognize and give importance to the people behind the development of Philippine literature. So let us take a look at the country's most talented and most influential writers who have received the highest honor for their significant contributions to Philippine literature, and that is to become a national artist, to be honored as a national artist of the Philippines. So again, let us start with the category of literature. First to discuss will be Francisco Arcillana. Francisco Arcillana is one of the greatest Filipino poets of his generation. He studied in Tondo Intermediate School, but then it was in the Manila West High School, later on called the Florentino Torres High School, that he took up his writing seriously and became a staff member of the Torres Torch. It is the name of their school organ or the school paper. So while still a student, he wrote his first story titled The Man Who Would Be Poe in 1932. He was considered to be one of the pioneers of Filipino short story in English. He was conferred as a national artist in the year 1990. He is considered an important progenitor of the modern Filipino short story in English. He also pioneered the development of the short story as a lyrical prose poetic form within Filipino literature. If we say prose poetic form, it is still poetry but in a prose form. His works are now often taught in tertiary level syllabi in the Philippines. So if you'll major literature, it won't be a surprise if his works will be one of the lessons that you'll take up to, especially when it is Philippine literature. 14 of his short stories were also included in Jose Garcia Villa's honor roll from 1928 to 1939. Jose Garcia Villa is also a national artist for literature. So these are the exceptional works of Francisco Arceliana. These are the short stories. We have Death in a Factory, A Clown Remembers, Divided by Two, The Mats, and The Flowers of May. The Flowers of May won the Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature. It is a story about a family who faced a tragedy when their one of the daughters died. So they cope up with the loss with the help of each other. Okay, so these are his poetry. We have some of his kanang poems. We have The Other Woman, To Touch You, I Touched Her. And now I'm going to share to you one of the short poems written by Francisco Arceliana in English. It is titled, I Wait for You. I wait for you, ready to leap at you, from every corner, at every turn, gathered to spring at you, from the shadow of every tree. This is an ambush, but I'm not the assassin. I wait not with a knife, but love heavy, tripping in my hands. So I'll continue with the next national artist in the next pre-recorded video. Thank you for listening.